Hello, welcome to the queue for turn 7, Operation Devils Brigade, and this is United Kingdom. They had 54 to spend. They are spending 52 of it on 3 fighters, an air base, and a transport, and this is our free guy for India. So we do have some attacks, so let's look at what we got going here. All right. It's probably going to be easier to widen it out. I always go the wrong way. All right, so there's going to be some weird lighting because it's high noon. Well, it's not quite high noon, but it's getting close, and we got a lot of snow outside, so the light reflecting in here is pretty intense on the left side of the board. We've got from Sumatra a jet fighter, 1, 2, 3. And he'll have a movement of 1 left. We'll leave the sub there for combat, and we're going to bring over this destroyer. So we have a destroyer, sub, and a jet fighter against what appears to be a German sub. I've marked them with the orange chips because between Commander Pax and G.I. Joe, who are both playing Japan in the games I'm in right now, they've exhausted my Japanese subfleet. I mean, up here, I even have a coastal defense sub, that I use in the global war game. So everybody's in action here. So that is 1 attack on the Pacific. The second will be right here in Burma. There's 1 infantry defending. So let's move in 6, 7, 8 infantry. If I can grasp them. And then we have a jet fighter and 2 tacticals with a movement of 4 left. And we're going to hold back our other forces for counterattacks. Or are we? Yes. No, wait, we got an anti-aircraft gun, so I could bring in these 2 tanks. So I think I'll do that as well. It's going to be overkill. I get it. Overkill. The 2 tanks are in. All right, so there we go. 2 tanks, jet fighter. I forget how many infantry that was. I'll count it when I roll, and then 2 tanks. All right, so other attacks. We have to follow up on Gibraltar. Now you can see that extreme lighting up here. U.S. was cleared out. They cleared out Gibraltar down to a TAC and a tank. So we've got 2 guys coming in off of the U.S. transport. Coming down from, and you can't see it, C-Zone 110 will be a battleship for a bombard. And we're going to have 2 jet fighters come down, which they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they will have 1 left. And that will be the carrier that they'll land on. I'll put that there. And yeah, that's non-com. All right, so that will be our attacks. All right, so let's get a dice tray and some dice. And I've got dice all over the board that I was using as demonstrations for victory points for our team meeting, so to speak, at the end of round 6. And then after Japan went, we adjusted it and did another meeting. I forgot to take them off the map. All right, so I don't know what those 2 dice were for. All right, let me get a dice tray and we're ready to roll. All right, so we're here at Gibraltar, so we'll be rolling on the dark tray today. All right, so for a bombard, we have that 4. We got 2 jet fighters at 4. I don't have any, I do have 1s. All right, here's 2 1s for the infantry. Is that it? I believe so. 5 dice. All right, I need 2 hits. And we get 1. That's how it goes. So the next roll, I'll have 6 hits and clear them out. So tank or tactical, I don't think it matters. We'll take the tactical because if some reason I fail, Italy can use either take the tank somewhere or not. I'll give them that option, but I'm not planning on failing. I'm planning on losing aircraft. All right, so there is a 3. Oh, they're both 3s. The tactical and the tank is a 3. And that's close enough. So 2 hits. So we're going to lose 1 infantry and 1 tactical fighter. All right, or tactical fighter, jet fighter. So that brings me down to a 4 and a 1. And there's the hit. So the tank is gone. Does he get that other jet fighter? Let's see. Yes, he does. All right. So that was costly, but it's the end of the game, so who cares? So Gibraltar is back in play. All right. Now, let's go to our other battles here. And this one will be a quick one in Burma. Don't really know where to put this dice tray. We squeeze it in there and I'll just put it here. All right, so there's 1 defender there. I'm gonna roll my 2 tanks, my TAC, my jet fighter, and my tactical that's boosted. Actually, with tanks, both tacticals are boosted. So that's 3 4s and 2 3s. And that's the overkill you always get. So Japan will defend with a 2. And that is a miss. All right, so I took the Japanese guy off. All right, so now we're attacking the submarine. And we have the jet fighter, sub-destroyer. So let's roll for a hit. We get 2. All right, so the Japanese submarine is gone. It defends at a 1. And it does not defend. All right, so that is it for the dice tray. So Britain really is only up 1 for Burma. Japan down 1. Because Gibraltar's worth nothing as far as IPCs, which is odd. All right, so let's land some planes. We've got a fighter landing here in Borneo. And they have to stay there, obviously. So over here we have a fighter and actually that's a jet fighter. So I got 2 jet fighters. Oh, I didn't know that. I guess it didn't matter on that roll. So they have 4 left, so they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land on Burma. So I'll have 3 jet fighters on Burma as I knock over bayonets. All right, so that is it there. Let's take that marker off. So in Burma is, I never got to roll those guys, 8 guys and 2 tanks. We're gonna move up an anti-aircraft gun. So I'll have to replace that ship with an anti-aircraft gun. Oh, you know what? Who cares? We're coming up to the end here. So we'll move both of them in. We don't need that anti-aircraft anymore. So that'll be that. So while I'm here, oh yeah, doggone it. We're gonna take a transport and 1 artillery from India. 1, 2, 3, and land the artillery into Sea Zone 43. The other transport is going to take an infantry and artillery, go 1, 2, 3 into Celebes and land that in non-com. All right, so put that on there so we know it's 3 artillery. This tactical bomber will go back to India. All right, on the other side, what do we have here? We have a tank from Iran. We'll go 1, 2, and we're gonna rail these 2 guys, 1, 2, 3, up into Russia, Kazakhstan. All right, so that's there. Get that out of the way. We're gonna step up from Iraq, an infantry, an artillery, and a tank. That guy's going to stay there because it's not his turn to move. All right, rolling down the highway here. From Transjordan, he's just going to go back to Egypt. We've got 2 jet fighters and a tactical bomber in Egypt that will go 1, 2, 3 over to Iran. We're going to leave our tank there. And, or do we need to move it? We'll move our tank here, 1, 2 into Iraq, because from down here in the Belgian Congo, we're going to rail 2 infantry up to Egypt and fly our jet fighter 1, 2, 3. All right. Over here, we don't need to land any planes because we lost them. However, let's bring down our carrier from Sea Zone 110, which you couldn't see. We're going to take our 2 jet fighters. I was wondering where they were. 1, 2, 3, they'll land on the carriers. Carrier, just 1 carrier. The transport is going to grab an infantry and an artillery. 1, 2, and we'll drop those off in Morocco. Just for grins, or what? No, we're going to leave them out on the fleet. That's what we're going to do. That's right. Oh, we had a destroyer. I forgot about that. It was rolled into Holland. We'll bring him down as well to add to the pile in Sea Zone 91. All right, so these guys are left in London, but there are no transports, so London is safe. All right, I think that's it for Britain. Let's place out our material. We got a free guy in India. We have a transport and a jet fighter in India. So that will be 17 of the 17 we can spend. We've got our air base going in Borneo. And we have 2 jet fighters going into Iran. And I believe that is it. Let's look at what we can do now for our recap. I don't see any guys over here. All right, so in Celebes, we have an infantry, artillery. In Sea Zone 44, a transport. In Borneo, 2 infantry, artillery, 3 jet fighters. In Sea Zone 43, a destroyer, a submarine, a transport. Sea Zone 39 is a transport. Calcutta has an infantry, 3 artillery, 1 tactical, 1 fighter. India has a tank. Iraq has 4 jet fighters and a tactical bomber. In northwest Iran, I got a tank, infantry, artillery. Iraq, a tank. In Egypt, what do I got? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 infantry, 1 AA, 1 jet fighter. I think I forgot the Burma, which is 2 AA, 2 tanks, and 8 infantry. All right, so cutting across. Oh, we got a sub that we marked to move. We're going to come up to Sea Zone 93 to convoy just for the heck of it. So Sea Zone 93 has a sub. Gibraltar, 1 infantry. In Sea Zone 91, we have a destroyer, a sub, a carrier, 2 jet fighters, a transport loaded with an infantry artillery. And up in London, 2 infantry, 5 anti-aircraft. And I believe that is the extent of the British Empire. I didn't collect money. If I was, here's 36 on the board. So that'd be 41 and 5, 45. So they'd have $45 to spend plus the 2 they saved. But I don't think there's anything for them to spend money on the last turn. All right, there we have it. Next up is the Kingdom of Italy.